When you talk about security, we had Alshabaab last week attack a village in Garissa. The Kenyan security forces have come out to say they thwarted that particular attack, yet some of the residents are reported as having said this militiamen came in there and they spent quite a number of hours. 6 hours. We've had lecturing them on this anti-government narrative and rhetoric. They even put up a flag. What does this say to you, Ambrose Weda?
Yeah, I think we cannot deny that the challenges of matters of security is still persistent. But we must look at where we are coming from and appreciate that it has been addressed substantially, but it should be addressed fully. You can see substantially means before it was here at the headquarters, at the city center, where everywhere you are unsafe. That was addressed, and even when it was being addressed, also Namara here was here up in arms. You're saying Nairobi is safer? It's relatively safer than it was. Yes. Isn't Garissa as important as Nairobi? No. I'm moving step by step. So, because this is a huge thing, it has to be addressed systematically. That's what I said. So Nairobi, when it was being addressed, I saw Omar was crying tears, but we moved on, and it has been on. So, looking at where we have come from, there has been substantial progress, but it's not a question of progress, it's a question of defeating Alshabaab. So there are still a lot to be done. That requires more resources that should come from the parliamentarians. In fact, it requires that you refund the illegal salaries you're earning so that we put it back to this. I can say that so far, Kaiseria's this team has done a relatively good job. But there's still a lot of work to be done. If we got the support from all these people, all of you senators, especially on our salaries you're earning illegally, for which we'll prosecute when you leave office, then we'll do well.
This gentleman has an issue with salaries. I don't even know. And one of his findings is going to contest.
And I hope he's earning one too.
The fact is, and I've said it here and I'll repeat it, that the Jubilee administration has its priorities upside down. The question of Nairobi and the question of our boundaries are two different issues if my learned friend and senior understands it. The boundaries of this republic are porous. And I'm going to repeat, now caps. Boundaries of this republic are porous. If somebody can get into the country 50 kilometers, have a cup of tea and then go back, others have spent 6 hours, even the fact that there was a person here for 2 hours or an hour is bad enough. And that is the reason why we have said, while the Jubilee administration insists that Kismayu is a point where you should guard more than the boundaries of this republic, is a question that they will have to address. The fact is that we share a boundary, Somalia, Kenya, Ethiopia share a boundary, but you would never hear of Alshabaab in Ethiopia. Why? Because of something called no man's land. Nobody walks there. By the time somebody is crossing the boundary, drives unnoticed, 50 soldiers is a severe indictment on these people and on the government of Kenya in terms of what it is doing. And then what do? They are making an announcement. They have now found a department, which I saw on the newspapers, about Homeland Security. They want to create another ministry called Homeland Security. These guys are walking all over our boundary as if we were having a birthday party. What are these people talking about? You know, Garissa is still Kenya. Marsabit is still Kenya. When you are doing surveillance systems all over the place and you are launching a 1.3 trillion system, the fact is that you cannot have people walking around our border. It is, in fact, it is a matter that is a war factor. When somebody walks into your boundary carrying ammunition, it is something that is capable. You are supposed to declare a war on them.